Ever get that feeling, like when the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you just know something isn't right?
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel with some of these true crime cases, especially the ones we're diving into today.
Yeah.
Each one is like a twisting path
Uh-huh.
that leads us through the dark corners of human nature and the fight for justice.
Yeah, these cases, they're like puzzles where the pieces don't always fit neatly, you know?
Right,
And the picture they paint can be unsettling, even disturbing.
exactly. Today we're tackling three cases that have grabbed headlines and just won't let go. We'll unravel the mystery of a decades-old cold case finally cracked wide open grapple with the ethical storm surrounding a shocking release from a notorious case and confront the chilling reality of online dangers and a tragic disappearance.
What's fascinating and perhaps a little frightening is how these cases, they reflect the anxieties of our time. You know, they force us to ask difficult questions about our justice system, the power of technology, and the very nature of truth itself.
Yeah, and that's what we're here to do, like to dig deeper, to understand, to maybe even find some answers.
Yeah.
So if you're like me and you can't turn away from a good mystery, even when it chills you to the bone, then get comfortable because this deep dive is for you.
Let's begin with a case that's reignited a national debate. The release of Morgan Geyser, one of the two girls involved in the infamous Slender Man stabbing.
Ah, the Slender Man case. This one goes back to 2014, and it shook everyone to their core.
It did.
Two 12-year-old girls, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weir, lured their friend Peyton Lugner into the woods and stabbed her 19 times. 19 times.
It's a case that straddles the line between reality and delusion. The girls believed they were acting on the orders of Slender Man, a fictional internet boogeyman,
Yeah.
and that by sacrificing their friend, they would become his proxies.
It was a chilling glimpse into how easily young minds can be captivated by dark online fantasies. Geyser was eventually found not guilty by reason of mental disease and sentenced to 40 years in a psychiatric facility. But recently, a judge granted her conditional release, sparking a wave of controversy and fear, especially for Peyton's family.
This decision brings us face to face with a complex legal and ethical dilemma.
For sure.
While Geyser's mental state was clearly a factor in the crime, how do we balance the need for rehabilitation with public safety? And what about the victim's right to feel secure and protected?
Tough questions, no doubt. The court records even include unsettling statements from Geyser admitting she felt no remorse after the attack. It really makes you wonder what conditions could possibly justify releasing someone who committed such a horrific act. What would make you feel comfortable knowing she's back in society?
This case goes beyond a simple question of guilt or innocence. It forces us to examine the nuances of the insanity, plead the challenges of treating severe mental illness, and the very definition of justice itself.
It's a heavy burden trying to weigh those scales. Now let's shift gears to a case that's still unfolding, one that underscores the dark side of our digital age: the disappearance and death of Heather Williams in North Carolina.
This case serves as a stark warning about the potential dangers lurking online. It reminds us that while the internet can connect us in amazing ways, it can also expose us to those who prey on the vulnerable.
Just imagine you're at home going about your day when you glance at your Ring camera and see your loved one getting into a car with a stranger. Then they vanish. That's exactly what happened to Heather Williams' family. This 25-year-old was last seen on January 4th of this year getting into an unfamiliar sedan. Tragically, 6 days later, her body was found in a wooded area, and the investigation quickly pointed to homicide.
What adds another layer of complexity and heartbreak to this story is that Heather had cognitive impairments from a previous accident. Her family believes she may have met someone online and that this online connection ultimately led to her tragic demise.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thought of your child, especially one with vulnerabilities, falling prey to someone they met online. And what's even more chilling are these breadcrumbs. The police are following a 3-minute phone call Heather made just before her disappearance and a cryptic text message she received 2 hours later.
It's like a digital ghost story, with each piece of data offering a glimpse into the mystery but not the whole picture. This case is a stark reminder of the importance of online safety for everyone, especially those who might be more susceptible to manipulation or exploitation.
It's a chilling thought,
Yeah.
realizing how vulnerable we all are in this digital world. We often talk about the benefits of technology, but cases like Heather's remind us of the darker side,
Right?
the predators who lurk in the shadows of the web.
Absolutely. And it highlights the need for open conversations about online safety, not just with children, but with anyone who might be more susceptible to online manipulation,
Right.
regardless of age.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so let's move on to our final case today. One that offers a glimmer of hope, a testament to the perseverance of law enforcement and the power of time. It's the story of Shannon Anderson, a case that went cold for over 2 decades before justice finally caught up.
This case is a powerful reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, the pursuit of truth should never be abandoned. It's a victory bittersweet, for sure, for Shannon's loved ones, and a testament to the unwavering dedication of those who seek justice.
Imagine waiting over 20 years for answers, never giving up hope that your loved one's killer would be brought to justice. That's the reality Shannon's family and friends faced. Back in 2001, Shannon was reported missing by her then-boyfriend Jonathan Link. Weeks later, her body was discovered bearing the grim marks of blunt force trauma to the head.
The case was immediately shrouded in mystery, with twists and turns that seemed to lead nowhere. Months after her disappearance, Shannon's car was found abandoned at the Atlanta airport, adding another layer of complexity to an already baffling puzzle.
It's like something out of a crime novel, right? The abandoned car, a missing woman, a web of connections that seemed to lead nowhere. Despite a lack of concrete evidence, investigators refused to give up on Shannon. They meticulously revisited the case files, painstakingly re-interviewed witnesses, and embraced new advancements in digital forensics that simply weren't available 20 years ago.
And that's where this case takes a fascinating turn. Think about how much technology has evolved in the past 2 decades. We're talking about DNA analysis, facial recognition software, even the ability to track digital footprints across time and space. These tools have become game changers in the world of criminal justice.
And they were instrumental in cracking Shannon's case wide open. Just this past January, after years of relentless investigation, Jonathan Link was indicted on 2 counts of murder. It's a powerful victory, albeit a delayed one, and a testament to the fact that sometimes justice simply takes time.
It also makes you wonder how many other cold cases are out there waiting for that one breakthrough, that piece of evidence or technological advancement that can bring the truth to light. It's a question that hangs heavy over the world of unsolved crimes.
And it brings us back to the Slender Man case, doesn't it? The idea that justice isn't always black and white, that there are shades of gray, especially when mental illness is involved.
Yes, both Geyser and Weir were diagnosed with mental health conditions, and the court recognized that their delusions played a significant role in their actions. This case isn't just about punishment, it also raises questions about accountability, rehabilitation, and the complexities of mental health within our justice system.
It's a tough pill to swallow, trying to reconcile the severity of their actions with the understanding that their mental state influenced their choices. And it sparks a broader conversation about the insanity plea itself. Some argue it's a get-out-of-jail-free card, while others see it as a necessary legal tool for addressing cases where mental illness impairs judgment and decision-making.
It's a debate that's raged for centuries, and it's one that we as a society need to continue grappling with. Where do we draw the line between accountability and compassion? How do we balance the rights of the individual with the safety of the public?
Yeah, it's a question that lingers long after the headlines fade, isn't it? How do we as a society navigate these complex ethical and legal crossroads? These cases we've explored today, they're not just stories. They're reflections of our shared humanity, our struggles, and our search for answers.
Precisely. And while these cases are unique in their details, they all tap into a universal human fascination with the dark side, the unknown, the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of everyday life. They remind us that truth isn't always clear-cut, and justice can be a long and winding road.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up our deep dive today, I want to turn it back to you, our listeners. What resonated with you most? Was it the chilling reminder of online dangers, in Heather's case, the ethical storms surrounding Morgan Geyser's release, or the bittersweet triumph of justice delayed in Shannon's story?
These cases, they're not just about crime and punishment. They're about the human condition, the choices we make, the consequences we face, and the ripple effects that extend far beyond the individuals involved.
That's a lot to unpack, and there are no easy answers.
Oh.
But that's the beauty of this exploration, isn't it? It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths, to grapple with ethical dilemmas, and to engage in conversations that matter.
And hopefully these conversations will lead to greater awareness, understanding, and compassion. Perhaps they'll inspire us to be more vigilant about online safety, more engaged in our communities, more supportive of those struggling with mental health issues, and more dedicated to the pursuit of justice, no matter how long it takes.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as we sign off today, we leave you with this. What will you take away from these cases? What conversations will you have with your loved ones? What actions will you take to make a difference in your own world?
Remember, knowledge is power. Share your thoughts with us on social media, and if you crave more deep dives into the fascinating and sometimes unsettling world of true crime, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay safe.